Corporation. Well, an entity, usually a business, having authority under law to act as a single person distinct from the shareholders who own it and having rights to issue stock and exist indefinitely. Now, a group or succession of persons established in accordance with legal rules into a legal or jurisdiction person. Yeah. That has a legal personality distinct from the natural persons who make it up, exists indefinitely apart from them. It has the legal powers that its constitution gives it. I'd like to know the state of incorporation of Boeing right now, Pooch. I'd like to know every employee that has any managements right now. No. Laurel and Argyle had to be the B, yes, of the corporation, and as I remember it, was very, very involved in Homeland Security. Jane, why don't you get me the employees of Homeland Security since they got going in 2003? Anne, Janet Ann. Now, the thought was that you had a special bee technology that, as long as you were sewn in, you could have complete control of any person that you were going to be on. Yes. And then you could be that total witch that you are. Now, I was doing a little research in the airline industry. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm concerned because I'm being obstruction from manufacturing airplanes now. So you just give me all the orders and the actual ownership of Boeing because I really think that you're manufacturing the wrong plane. You might call it the 777, the 744. Yes, this is what they call the 77114. Oh, it's called supersonic transportation. I did not realize this. Yes. But when the Concorde was actually flying, yes, it was one of the few planes that you could leave London and arrive in New York, and it would be the same time zone. And for some reason, we've been having a problem with supersonic air flight. Yes. Now, this would travel at about 22 miles a minute. Yes. And it was kind of archaic in its design. Yes, kept getting flat tires. But one thing I dislike is hydraulics. Yes. You always get hydraulic fluid someplace that you don't want it. Yes. But I had an innovation called the wobbler. Yes. And then electric motors that have the ability to support the actual structure necessary instead of all these little hoses that have hydraulic fluid in them. Yes, it does. Now, for those in the manufacturing of airplanes, anytime you're using a fluid instead of electricity, yes, it's possible that it will leak. And then there's this idea, yes, that we made all these supersonic aircraft, yes, and they were very, very inefficient in the amount of kerosene that they were using. Had a kerosene leak, yes. I thought, well, my goodness, after 25, 30 years of aircraft manufacturing, it might be the right time to reintroduce what is known as hypersonic. Yes. Now, I wanted to go Mach 4, and I thought about how to get there. Yes. But I found out that at 60,000 feet of altitude, it's minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes. And when I found out it was that cold, I thought, exactly how hot does steam have to get to just the point of freezing? That would be 32 degrees. Yes, Fahrenheit. It's a positive number. Yeah. Because I, we have this, what's it called again? Global warming. Yes. I, well, when I looked at what the problem was with the Concorde, yes, because it's really good. This is from 2001. No, no, it's not. Yeah. And they did shut that down, but I wanted to buy the blueprints of the Russian hypersonic jet. Yes, yes, yes. Because I thought they did a better job designing it, and I was going to make a few modifications to it. Now let's see here. Yes, this Concorde. Yeah, as I read it, it had Mach 2 at about 1,322 degrees miles per hour. Yes, 60,000 feet. Air temperature around minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. But there's what's known as atmospheric friction. Yes, that heats up the fuselage. No. And it makes the airplane about a half a foot longer. Phew. Now that would be annoying to me as a passenger of the Concorde. Yes, we take off. Yes, we're going 22 miles a second or a minute, or ever how fast it is. 22 miles a minute. And the plane stretches. Yes. Now, I wondered, what was the tensile strength of the manufacturing of the actual metal in the. See, let's say I had a large number of junk cars. Yes. HHO gas smelter. I heat it up to 3,000, maybe 3,500 degrees. Yes. And then I make all these little pieces of it. Yes. And I don't like these rivets. Do you see how many rivets are necessary to do this? Yes, he doesn't like rivets. He doesn't like rivets. Now, what if I didn't want the plane to stretch? Yes. And I decided that the tensile strength of the actual metal used to manufacture the plane, yes, was probably around 1,300 to 1,500 degrees. Now, a composite metal at 3,000 degrees probably would.